This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. Gentlemen, it's been so long since we've seen you.
Amazing. Time to get into part
sat
two.
down.
Still on the same soda water bottle.
Interesting.
Thanks to my friends at SodaStream.
What about, I can't believe they did that with the Thursday night and the Cyclone and all that. How good or not good?
I still can't work out
I reckon we'll talk about it in question time.
the soda stream.
Sorry.
No, I still can't
sorry,
work out the
that
soda
might be
stream.
game day.
I can't
yeah,
work out.
I don't think it's a thing, but it might be a thing.
I don't know. It's a deep cut.
Yeah.
It's a deep cut.
Hey, let's just quickly wrap a ribbon around yesterday. I'm just going to go through the locks really quickly because
No, that sounds more better than doing them all.
Yeah, you've used all three of your locks. Rhino, you've used two and I've used two. So my locks really quickly are Adelaide under 11.5 wins. I don't think they'll win 12 games. I've locked that. I've also locked Collingwood as overs. I think they're going to have a big bounce back season at 13.5 wins. So I've gone overs there. Nick, your locks, you've used all three. You've gone Adelaide overs, so we've had a lock off there.
Love that.
It's like a 6-point swing at the end of the year, isn't it?
Correct. Carlton, you've gone unders, under 13.5 wins, and you've locked that away. And Gold Coast, where you were a member, one of the first.
I'm on the
members.
wall, mate.
Yeah, you're on the wall. 11.5 wins, you've gone overs and locked it in. And Rhino, after much thought debate, I've actually allowed you to move your locks because you locked away the Giants initially, but I allowed you to remove that to lock in Hawthorn at overs 14.5 wins. So you think it's a lock, they'll win 15 or more.
I want to go back there.
And then Fremantle Football Club, 13.5 wins. You've gone lockety, lock, but all three of us went overs on that one as well. So there's just a quick wrap around the locks. We've got one left each, Rhino.
I might go back to GWS.
No, that's done now. I've slept on it.
Rhino's just getting texts from the head of Seven Sports saying, lay off Kane, please.
I'm getting texts.
Let's go straight into the Melbourne Footy Club. Melbourne, 11.5 wins for Melbourne.
Tough one.
They won 11 last year, of course. Clary, Petrarca, all that sort of stuff went on last year. Will they win 12 games plus this season?
Okay, so it can't be worse. Like, Clayton Oliver could barely move. Petrarca was nearly dead. Like, surely... And also just the bad vibes in that place all year last year. It was a shit show. And they still came within half a game of this number. Yesterday, even though they didn't beat Freo, I really liked what I saw.
And
I thought
they brought in number 22 turned to number 19, Big Langford.
Big Harvey Langford.
How did he stay?
He was okay. Yeah,
he
didn't dominate, but he played okay. I really like the over here for Melbourne. I just think they can't be worse.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going over. I agree.
Over?
Just like they actually have their team back now.
I know we don't have a sound for this, but please just pretend that there's a lock introduction noise being introduced to the conversation. I'm locking unders.
Oh,
really?
Locking unders, going to fall straight off the face of the earth.
Wow.
How old's Max Gawn these days? You're going to get a full season
something.
out of him. Is Clary going to be back to his best? I know he was good yesterday, but can you bank on that? Petrarca, I love Petrarca. Last year, they're goalkeepers. They're people that kept the team alive during some pressure. Steve May and Lever got annihilated at times last year.
Yeah.
And what else have they got?
It's hard when it's walking out of the middle.
What else do they have other than Petrarca, Oliver, Gawn, May, and Lever?
Trent Rivers
Langford.
I like.
Trent Rivers.
Because he picked it?
Because he's good
For this season?
I'm not locking overs or thinking overs because Trent Rivers.
What do you got against Trent Rivers?
No, I think he's a solid citizen.
Solid citizen.
No, but he's not a star.
He's a very good player.
He's a good. No, he's not.
He's a good player.
He's nudging a B.
He could elevate into B status.
Yeah, so that could happen.
You notice someone,
but I'm a Rivers man, and I enjoy.
He's a Rivers man. He's
No,
a solid citizen.
But he's not an All-Australian this season.
Clothing
He's
brand.
not an All-Australian this
Is
season.
Rivers still around that clothes shop in the country?
I'm not sure.
Would be.
Is it surely?
Not sure.
Would be, for sure.
Someone else stole our A graders. I mean, everyone's stolen our over-unders, which we came up with ourselves.
We're just content producers.
All right.
Just punch it.
Let's go to a team that was in WA over the weekend, North Melbourne. 6.5 wins is their line.
I already know.
They won three games last year.
No, you're frothing over North Melbourne. He's got
He's
such a hard on for North Melbourne.
In the tent.
Like I can get. You're going to go over, aren't you?
Hang on, just chill. Let's chill.
Go on, do it.
North Melbourne going over.
Are you locking it?
No, I'm out of luck.
He's so excited about North Melbourne.
I just love their kids, mate. I'm sorry. I just genuinely love their kids. What about on the weekend we called the game, Ryan, and I was like, can you remind me, what was the trade for Sheasel again? And Ryan was like, so the trade was Jinby, and then it was Hewitt, and then Sheasel went to North Melbourne.
And I was like,
Ryan goes,
is that what you mean?
Have you got a point? I was like, yeah, you just made it. Jeez, he's a nice player to watch, isn't she? That
Yeah.
kick through the corridor.
Jesus Christ.
I saw some podcast where he was talking about his diet.
Diet is unbelievable.
He's locked in, that
I
kid.
love
That
diet
is
stuff.
Have you not seen this?
No.
He is
Oh
locked
my
in.
God.
Cooks
In
all
another
himself.
world, I'd be like, this bloke's the biggest wanker I've ever met.
Really?
But it was so intriguing.
Yeah.
It just put him up another rung. It's like, I've moved my avocado because of the fats
Yeah, moved it to lunch
lunchtime,
instead
and
of,
I've taken it out of my breakfast diet.
Yeah.
And because I'm getting my fats and this, mate, it is unbelievable, the professionalism. Doesn't eat out anymore, family dinners or whatnot. He cooks every night because he knows exactly what he needs for his body.
Wow.
It is a staggering level of
He's lucky.
professionalism.
He
I
went
don't know
down
if we
like-
can put a clip in or we can post a clip or something, but
I love this.
it is
Mate, you gotta
so
watch
good.
Chicken, beef, fish as my proteins. A lot of eggs every morning. Same thing every morning, 4 eggs with fruit.
Avocado as well.
Avocado, I've actually moved to lunchtime now.
Why is
I'm
that?
getting enough fats through the eggs and sometimes smoked salmon.
Yeah.
This reminds me of and this is not to that level, but I think Juddy was early on this stuff. Because there's that.
Well, I think Shane Woden was pretty early too,
He
with
would've-
weighing his food.
There's
and
a
whatnot.
story about
The
Juddy
weighing,
when
that's
Yeah.
right.
he gets to Carlton after being at West Coast, winning a premiership, winning a Brownlow. Remember, Carlton were pretty average
Yeah.
back then. There were a lot of kids.
Back then.
Anyway, they go and they have some big dinner, team dinner at some Italian joint.
Yeah.
Anyway, like they're sitting down and someone orders for the table, get pizzas, whatever.
Yeah.
They bring over a few bowls of chips, and Juddy just, as soon as they're put on the table, he goes, no, take those back. Gets
No
all the
chips.
chips removed from the table, and everyone
Yeah.
just went quiet. And it was like everything shifted after that. It was like,
The chip rule.
if
The
Juddy
chip
ain't
line.
eating chips, no one's
No,
eating
it's-
chips.
Just really quickly before we move, similar one. My draft day. So drafted at Eddie Had or whatever it was called at the time. Then we
Yep.
went to Clarko's for some dinner. So the draft players and Sam Mitchell and those guys were there. Esky, I was like, ooh, hankering a beer,
Yeah.
but I'll grab the Coke. And reached in to grab a Coke, and Mitch like, put that shit back, mate. We don't drink that shit here. I'd rather you have a beer. So I was like, soft drink. I never drank soft drink ever at
Wow.
Hawthorn.
Hence the soda stream.
Wow,
Still
I've
doing
made an allowance since I've got 30 kilos. But yeah, no, that was like the whole.
What do you go?
Wow.
Have you gone unders? What are we going in North Melbourne?
So it's 6.5,
Dave's over.
and you're expecting him to win 4 more games.
Well, I reckon they knock off the 2 bottom teams twice,
There's 4.
There's 4, and they'll get someone.
and they'll
else
knock off a
somewhere.
Melbourne. They'll knock
But
off.
remember, they've got to play West Coast.
They lose 2 games.
here.
And Fremantle here.
20
'cause of the
inside
Bunbury
50s
games.
to 2 in the first quarter.
I'll go overs.
Overs, come with me.
I'm taking the slight under.
But there
But
was-
I agree with you on the kids. I love Finn O'Sullivan. Jeez, he was good on
Yes.
Saturday. Oh, my goodness.
He's running. I kept saying it. I sounded like a broken record. His ability to run past me was unbelievable.
I like him for the Rising Star.
Maturka.
McCurcher.
Oh, Maturka.
McCurcher, another one. I
Dylan.
actually probably like him a little bit off half-back this year, but then, you've got Parker and Daniel and those
Every
guys
time
coming in.
McCurcher got it, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
like something's
Yeah.
happened. He's
Well,
such a
when we
ball of
spoke-
energy.
We spoke last year, I reckon. I spoke to my mate Selby because we were watching it live. There was one passage of play last year. He took the footy, had maybe 4 or 5 bounces, and then just
remember that
slid
one.
it down
Yeah.
the throat of the full forward, Larky or someone. And the commentator's like, nice play. If that was Harley Reid, there'd be 60,000 standing up and thinking that was the best thing they've ever seen. But just because it was a North game, it was off Broadway.
Yeah.
I was like, that was amazing.
I think it was against like St Kilda or
well,
something
really
too. so
off
it was
Broadway
really
game,
off
but
Broadway.
the first year player to really tuck it and run, it was like those kids. Where's Dursma at the moment?
He didn't play on the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
so
Is
I
he
think
not?
he was carrying a little
Okay.
bit of something.
Right, he's one I'm
There's
looking
another
forward
one.
to
There's
seeing
another Dursmas who's in the number
Yeah,
one
so,
pick conversation.
so they've got
already.
Xavier, they've got
Oh, that's right.
Yasmin, who's the daughter,
Yes.
and
Yep.
they've got Zane.
Yep.
So there must be a
there's
Willem.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
Willem
a W.
Dursma.
There's a W
It's
in
Willem
there.
Dursma. Yes. No, I
Just like the back end of the
so
alphabet.
I'm unders. You guys are both overs.
We're both overs.
Yeah. Okay. Port Adelaide. Let's rock and roll here. Port
Kanka,
Adelaide.
kanka,
Go.
kanka.
12.5 wins is the line. They won 16 games last year.
Insane.
16 games.
Insane. How does that happen?
Um,
Can't believe they won that many games.
then they're moving on coaches.
This is a very tough one as well.
Butters out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Will they win 13 games?
You know I'm a Port hater.
Yes, you are.
And I can never see the upside with them. But they keep doing it.
Yeah. And they can't pick Charlie Dixon
It's
this
the
year.
opposite. They are doing the opposite to us
Yeah.
as what Gold Coast have been.
Yeah.
We always think that believe the hype,
Yeah.
and now we're off it. We're done.
True.
And now it's like, well,
Port
hang on,
Adelaide's
Port
out there,
Adelaide
right?
win
Yeah.
14 games plus
Every year.
every year. And we go, well, who's their third best player or fifth best player?
Dan Houston's not there anymore.
I'm very concerned. Who is their fourth best? I'm very concerned that they don't have a back line
Yeah,
again.
O'Leary.
Yeah, but he's injured too, right?
Didn't they slot someone
Zirk
else in there? who
Thatcher's
looked good?
injured.
Thatch.
Finlayson was basically the only.
Yeah, it's
defender
Finlayson
they had
that
last
threw back.
weekend.
That's it.
Mason was
The forward line,
Yeah.
no, Marshall's out for the year, and I know
Yeah.
Marshall's no world beater, but that's one
George
man
Yardies
down.
looks big.
My man.
He looks big.
My man's good. The algorithm said 12.
Willie
Yeah.
Rowley.
I'm gonna take a very slight over.
over.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
I'm
at
going
all.
overs too.
Okay, overs. I'm overs as well.
Okay, that's
I-
safe.
we
then.
love
we'll,
it.
all
I was
do
gonna-
it. We'll all do it.
I was going to lock them too.
Over
I was
Just
going
'cause
to
it
lock them
happens.
overs.
because you like the coaching thing.
No.
Yeah, just 'cause they
I
win every
hate
year.
the coaching thing.
Well, then why are you doing over?
Well, just same thing every year.
Because it just happens.
The Gold Coast, I just go under.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide, I just go over.
almost
Horn
Geelong.
Francis,
It's Geelong.
Yeah.
Geelongish.
Yeah.
Horn
Big
Francis is going to be unbelievable. Connor Rosie was great on the weekend.
Yep.
Lukosius,
Zach
they
Butter's
lose
late
Marshall.
start hurts a
Well,
little.
it does, but if they win enough games early and then he comes in, Lukosius becomes important, obviously, with Marshall.
I like
out.
Willem Drew. Willem Drew's just a
Willem
solid
Drew.
citizen.
We also think that Horn Francis is about to explode.
We
right?
think so.
Well, I think we think he could be in the best three players in the
I
game.
was disappointed last year because I was really hard on him being top 10 in the Brownlow.
Yeah.
But Butters polled way better than expected. But I think all three on the table, I'm grabbing Horn Francis first.
He's very good.
The All-Stars game, he was
My goodness.
unbelievable.
My goodness.
All right, Richmond.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Tough one.
This is-
I like it
Richmond.
nobody saved their locks for like the
So,
easy ones.
The line is 2.5.
Okay.
They won 2 games last year.
do you know what the algorithm punched out?
What?
0.
So you're unders.
Yeah, clearly they're gonna win a game,
Yep.
right? Because everyone wins one.
Yep.
I can't see them getting 3.
Yeah.
They are so young.
Yeah.
Baker, Bolton, Grimes, Martin, Graham, Pickett, Rioli, all the exits, all the ones who
You
came
feel
in
like-
were children.
You
Yes.
feel like Tom Lynch is going to come back and just have to shout out, yes, Richmond.
Yeah. yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate.
Yep.
Nah, it's unders.
Unders.
3 games seems.
You've
like,
still got a lock left.
No, I've
Nah,
got
okay,
that.
you got
I'm
it tucked-
saving
you got
that.
it
I'm
tucked away.
very certain about that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nick,
unders. It's an unders.
Geez, this is a moving one again.
Have you guys got any locks left?
Yeah, no. I've got. I've
You got a
gone.
lock?
Got
No,
a good
you're all
one
out.
coming.
Oh.
I've got a good one.
I've gone overs on Richmond. I think they'll
Just
get
get
3
3
wins.
wins
I
somehow.
think they'll get 3 wins.
3 points.
So
for us,
no.
boys.
So can you think about one of the wins they had last year?
Nah.
They didn't beat the shit team. They beat Sydney last year.
That's right.
That's right.
They beat Sydney and they beat them convincingly.
Yeah, but they had
I just figure they can do that
Players.
They can do that 3 times when they're playing against West Coast. They might knock at North Melbourne. They
Was
might
that the
knock
Dusty
it.
game? Wasn't that his 300
Nah,
or
that was
something? or-
Hawthorn.
That was Hawthorn.
When Hawthorn smoked them. But
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't know.
I can't ride with this one.
I can't go unders on 2 wins.
I reckon you can.
think you can.
I think you can. Jesus, I can't believe you took the overs. I
Well,
love
but
that.
also being a bit fruity.
No, but I like the
Being a
fruit.
bit fruity.
You got
gives
to
us
feel
a
Adam
chance.
Uze, you achieve your dream of being an AFL head coach, and then you're like, this is what we got, boys. Okay,
That doesn't seem like
cool.
it's...
All right,
Cool.
St Kilda. St Kilda, 9.5 is the line. They won 11 games last year.
Always.
11
It's Ross
games.
Lyon.
9.5. Ross Lyon, though, the pressure might start. Not pressure might start to come, but like I can't see a lead. I cannot see a finals
No.
berth.
I still can't believe they got rid of Membry, especially when you
Mem-
found out he
Mem-
kicked the second most goals for them
Yeah,
last
but
year.
what did he kick? 30?
He was 36
All
or
right.
something. But then no one else
want
is
you-
there.
No,
I
well,
want to
the
wind back
king-
the clock
Who's in?
to last year. And Richmond's over-under was 9.5.
Oh,
And I said they'll barely win 3 games.
Yeah.
I locked that under so hard.
yes.
Yeah.
I am doing the same right now with St Kilda. The algorithm
Wow.
punched out
Oh, hang
3
on.
wins.
And now Josh Smiley's been ruled out of the early rounds of the season as well. One of
Okay,
their-
well,
one
that
of their
doesn't
top
help
10 picks.
Richmond. But no Josh Battle, Riley Bonner's gone, Brad Crouch, Tim Membry, Ben Patton. These are all fringe players, but they've also got about 1,000 injuries to
Yeah,
start the
so
year.
many injuries.
Their best thing for them is to be terrible. They need to keep bringing in
Get
kids.
a number 1 pick.
Right? They just have to keep bringing them in. And they don't get all this academy stuff. They just got to find kids.
0 father sons.
They are going to be so bad this year that they might finish second last.
Right.
Like, I am so unders on St Kilda. I wish I could lock it twice.
I'll give it an extra tick just so
Yes.
it's got 4 ticks now.
Can we do a double lock?
Nah.
Did we discuss that?
I've ruled it out. I've gone hard and
I
ruled it out.
love that concept.
Platinum lock.
I'm going unders as well. I just wrote who ? Next to St Kilda. Like who are you turning on to watch at St Kilda?
Wanganeen Miller.
Wanganeen Miller.
Other than our man Wanganeen Miller.
That's it.
I mean, not Hugh
And-
Boxall, actually.
Yeah, but that's fine.
He's
but
a child.
The lead up forwards, that's gone, and teams that keep doing this lead up forward stuff. I don't think any even played finals
Although
last year.
their top pick from last year, Darcy Wilson.
Yes, he's a nice little wing.
It took me a while to remember his name yesterday.
Yeah.
I kept getting my brain wouldn't move off Farron Ray in St Kilda's 22.
To be fair,
it just would not. My brain would just
fair,
stuck.
you were stoned. So
Yes. We're all unders
We're all
on St
unders.
Kilda.
We're unders.
All right.
I can lock that so hard. I can't believe it's 9.5. That's a gift.
Dean Cox's Sydney Swans. The line's 14.5. They won 17 games last year, Sydney. Played in the grand final, obviously. 14.5 Sydney Swans.
Everybody's writing the Sydney Swans off because they got pumped in a grand final again. They were the best team last year for the majority of the year. I wish I had another lock because I would lock them over.
No Errol for
No Errol
how
for
long?
well, they haven't confirmed that, but it sounds like it's a significant chunk of the season.
fractured his
so
ankle.
not having Errol is a big problem.
No Callum Mills.
Mills has got the plantar fasciitis, which is never a good sign, right? That
No.
can
Unless you're
linger.
Nick Dacos.
That
So
can
Nick
linger.
Dacos.
have 100
And
touches.
I still worry about their forwards. McDonald hasn't even played in the preseason; he's injured.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit concerned about that. But they
Remember
just,
that lady abused us for the forward call out, and then Marty kicked the goal on the siren. He had
that's
one.
right.
He had one kick for the day.
To be fair, she came back and said, "Oh, all good, all
No,
good."
I don't think there was a sorry.
Wasn't a sorry,
All good.
but she accepted it.
Yes,
She
but Marty, it couldn't have. We were so right, but Amadi kicked that goal on the siren, which made us at least we got a tweet calling us knobs.
Yeah.
But then we were right in the end. You and I, we went to bed that night spooning. Oh God, we cuddled hard.
Bit of extra chocolate that night.
All right, what did you do, Rinny?
I'll go overs slight.
Slide overs.
Only slight. I still see like
Jeez.
there's a lot of. Again, this is like a Port Adelaide factor where they just do it so often you have to give them the benefit of
What
the
about
doubt.
the Corey Warner signature?
That'll get them over the line.
I've done a few of these today.
I hope Sheldrick gets into it.
I've gone unders.
You are swerving hard
Yes,
today.
I've gone unders.
Wow.
I think maybe because like I've got the championship ring from last year doing this, and I
Swagger.
feel as though
Yeah, you're playing with house money.
I am.
Yeah.
I go down this year, and I'm like, well, I won it last year. That's
You
fine.
see how the
But I've-
contrarians are taking over footy media and you just started to go hard.
But I just think Goulden is a massive
Yeah.
killer. Like that player that gets back and helps in defence. How many times do you picture him getting catching that ball in defence?
Errol is
Yeah,
my
mate.
favourite player
So I
in the
just-
AFL.
so then now-
it's gut wrenching.
Now, what absolute A graders they got? Warner, who every club's got a Chad
Heaney.
Warner essentially, and a
Heaney.
Heaney.
Heaney,
And everyone else.
The headless
All
chook
the other
in that
guys.
position's great.
Blakey. Yeah, I think they're really good across the board.
Yeah, but
I can't
15,
see him.
But
You
15 wins is above really
Do you
good.
get like your
Yeah, I'm
Dane
honest.
Rampies? Do you get like an aging A grader, like once was an A grader
Yeah.
status?
All right, West Coast, 5.5 wins. They need 6 wins this season. They won 5 last year. The 5th being Oscar Allen kicking
that's
4 in the last quarter or whatever he did stupidly.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Down in not stupidly, like unbelievably.
Yeah.
And then they were 100 points down at halftime against Geelong in the last game.
Yeah.
So they've added Liam Baker, Jack Graham, Matt Owies, 3 professional football players. Liam Baker was outstanding on Saturday.
What's my saying I like to say?
What was that one?
They raised the floor but not the ceiling.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. You raise the floor,
But the ceiling hasn't gone up.
but not the ceiling. Bo Allen's the addition. He'll play straight away. He was their first round pick. They've lost Barris, Darling, Edwards, Gaff, Jones, Rotham, True, Witherden. Barris, obviously, the big one there. It's hard to see them. I think they're going to be better, but
does
not
that equate with
necessarily
wins?
more wins,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
So that's the floor lifting.
So what's the
Yeah.
line?
The line's 5.5. They've won 5 last year. I'm going to take the slide overs because I think they'll win 6.
Yeah.
But I don't feel great about it. But I do feel like watching it, you'll feel better about them if you're an Eagles
What
fan.
about just to peel the paint back a little bit on Embers on Andrew Embley on Saturday? He had him coming in at 9 wins? Did he,
He
say
said 9 or 10.
Nine
9 or 10.
wins.
9 or 10 wins.
9 wins, and then I said, "How?" And he goes, "Matt Owies." And I'm not making this up.
He did say that. And we all agree Matt Owies is a professional football player, and I
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
addition. But I don't think he's a 6-win difference.
He hasn't split into 3 and 3 Chris Judds have arrived.
It feels like Embers and Nick are on the same sort of wavelength. Imagine these two in a room, just waxing.
Real football talk.
I'm unders. I'm under. No, I don't think they'll get 6 wins.
Yeah, I'm unders as
Which is
well.
not a bad thing. I just want them to get kids. I
I think they'll be more competitive.
Andrew, that's they're going to be.
Yeah.
Graham and Baker and those guys are going to help that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see McQualter in 12 months' time This is not McQualter's list. I know he's added Baker and great, but that's not his list. That decision's been made prior to him. I can't wait to see what he can do to shape the list. I think it's some exciting stuff.
I love McQualter and love what he's done. Just a cracky past, a mate of mine picked up the season guide in the West Australian. There was a McQualter picture. He's like, he just looks like one of us.
He does.
He looks like he has a fantasy team.
I think he probably is one of us.
Yeah, he probably is, and that's not a bad
sit at the bar.
Regular listeners will remember the story that you tell about the handshake. Right? So you always said that Andrew McQualter, when you met him...
No, he used to take us home from boarding school to Morwell, where Gippsland Power were all Gippsland boys, had to train on a Thursday night to get the train 2 hours. I was always get on at Flinders Street. He was on at Caulfield Grammar and would meet there and head down.
And he had the firmest handshake.
Firmest handshake I've ever, he was a man.
So I was waiting.
He was a man.
I was waiting to shake his hand.
Oh, right. Sorry, there's an extension.
This has been building, has it?
And I did.
Yes.
And I can confirm.
Please tell me he hasn't got arthritis or something.
No, it was very, very strong. And I told him.
Connection's great.
I told him straight away. I said, Xavier Ellis talks about this still. And he laughed at it.
It's a beautiful handshake.
He said, who? And I said, no, Xavier Ellis. He used to play for Hawthorn and West Coast.
With me at Rottnest.
No, very firm handshake. Very good. Yeah. I like the vibe of him.
Sorry, Nick, what were you?
Unders.
All right, last but not least, Western Bulldogs. They've had some horrible run with injuries and whatnot. Their line's actually gone down from the one I'm looking at. It's 11.5. They won 14 games last year.
So they're another one who just keeps sort of hitting the mark.
So it was 12.5, was it?
No, it was 11.5, but it started at 12.5. Yeah, Frio's went up one.
Probably because of
one that went
the
down
Bont injury and a couple of other
Yeah.
injuries. I've got him as the slight under because of the Bont. So the algorithm punched out a 12-win season.
Bont is genuinely will win 6 games.
Correct. If there's a player that I'm giving more influence to than anyone in the AFL, it's him.
Gee, we give. What about the days of the calf being a 3-week or a 2-week? Now they just go 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6
Too
weeks.
bad. McRae's out. Bailey Smith's out. Caleb Daniel. But all those guys weren't really playing much last year. Sam Davison. Jesus, he looks good.
Yeah.
Where is this kid come
He's a
from?
23-year-old med student.
Yeah.
And he's unbelievable
Is
the other
that
day.
who that was? The kid out of the VFL
Yes.
in the country.
Looks superb.
I didn't watch the first part of that game, and then his numbers came up. He had like
Jesus.
23 touches or whatever.
Mate, and they weren't cheap. He was in everything.
Must be a good runner.
Elite runner.
Has to be.
His legs were so long. And
Jeez, he
just
looked good.
Fluent movement.
But how
Who's the
how
last
did
one?
these
Oh,
players get overlooked?
I can't understand. It reminded me of the Isaac Smith thing.
Yeah,
where
that's
you're
the closest.
When he's playing, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how is this guy playing country footy or something like
Playing
a year
for
ago?
the
Like, it just
Roosters
makes
or
no
Chickens or
sense. Makes no sense. He's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, okay.
I take the under, though. Just the Bont thing, and it's line ball anyway.
Yeah, you never know which way it's going to go with the Dogs. I'm under.
But you have to pick one.
I'm under.
Okay.
Did I not say that already?
I'm going overs.
Jeez, he's swerving.
I just don't know whether their 3 games work. Like if they can just skip
He's
ahead.
letting us go first.
If they can just hang on enough. Like Jamar has had a ordinary pre-season.
Yeah, but is he
Don't know.
playing?
We don't know. I don't think he'll
right?
be playing anytime soon.
What round would you think you'd be start to see him? Like round 10 or something? Or
Who knows?
too hard to tell?
Hard to tell, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was
Yeah,
that
right.
late.
Okay.
I still think
I'd hope
Sam
it's
Darcy
sooner.
will kick up another gear.
Sam
Darcy will
Darcy.
be a top 10 player at some point in the next few
He
years.
looked brilliant. I'm just going overs. And Trelaw's another one we haven't spoken about being
Calf.
out.
He's got the calf.
He's had calves this entire
But he
career.
he was still one of the funnier, and I can say it because I spent a long time injured myself. The double hamstring at the G is one of the most extraordinary things I've ever seen. I'm just overs. I just, again, believe in Darcy, maybe Norton, get Bont back before you know it.
Yep.
Maybe they can hang on enough. Roy Lobb will be shit canned a lot.
He's good.
As a forward.
Good down back.
As a defender, he's
Yeah,
really found
nice.
a home.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just.
You know what I like? Frazier.
That was
Joel
that guy.
Frazier.
That was Bont's nominated player as a breakout season at the Captain's Day.
I like him
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, he's in that halfback role. He seems like a good user of the footy. I'm all in.
But it normally takes them a while to get going, right? This is my concern. Bulldogs normally take a while to settle into the season, and now they're trying to do that without Bontempelli.
The Bont thing
Can
is just...
extend the settling
Well,
period.
let's not sleep on Ed Richards. Is going to have a big year.
He's injured too.
Like Ed. Is he?
Ed's not missing round 1.
He's missed the 2 pre-season games.
He's not missing round 1 though. Is he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Oh, God.
So can we give it a bit of a review here? Now go through everyone. Come on.
Where are we different?
We can't. Well,
Just
I'll
go
go
the
the
ones
very
we
different
differed.
ones. So the very different ones are Adelaide. Nick, you went overs.
We got locks either
Rhino
way.
and I, we went unders on that one.
Nick locked that too.
Yeah, Nick locked and I locked unders as well. Brisbane, we differed. I went overs. You guys went under 15 wins. We were all, again, another one, Rhino. You went overs on Carlton. Nick and I went unders. Nick locked that in.
Wow.
Collingwood were all overs. We all thought they were going to win 14 or more.
You locked it.
I locked that away. Essendon, we all went unders.
Of course.
Under 11 wins. Fremantle, we all went overs, and you locked that in over 14 wins.
Free money.
The one here that was a bit obscure, Geelong, you went overs, Rhino, and I curved and went unders with Nick, under 14 wins.
Amazing.
Gold Coast, Nick locked overs, 12 wins. We both went unders, but simply by the fact we're just done with going overs on them.
And just to clarify, Nick based that on the branding change.
The pink jumper
got me over the line.
Just a branding shift.
Giants, 15 wins. You two went overs. I went unders. Hawthorn, you went overs and locked Rhino, whereas Nick and I both went under 15 wins, but thought maybe 14 wins was probably about it. The Melbourne Football Club, overs and overs to you two. I went unders and locked.
Yeah, amazing. That
Yeah.
one.
The North Melbourne Footy Club, overs to me and you, Nick, over 6.5 wins. You went unders, Rhino.
Slight.
Port Adelaide, we all just got sick of being wrong with Port Adelaide, so we all went overs, 13 wins. Richmond, I went overs, 3 wins.
Amazing.
I think I just flashed back to the Sydney Swans victory last year.
I love it.
I'm overs. I just figured that maybe Taranto, Hopper, Lynch, they just have a good day at one.
But you just named all 3 of their players who
Noel
have
Bolter.
played more than 20 games.
Noel Bolter.
He's out for a while.
4 weeks.
At least.
Was it 4? Yeah. So at Sydney Swans, you two went overs, I went unders on that. Errol Gooden's going to be a big, big loss. Errol. And West Coast Eagles, Nick and I were unders. The camp tent chair boy, he went overs.
Very slight overs.
The Western Bulldogs, 11.5 wins. I went overs and you two went unders. So there's a few obscure ones there.
There is a lot
They're enough to arm wrestle over.
There is a lot of differences in those over-unders.
And of course, thank you very much to Dono and Chappers.
Yes.
Chappers.
2 people.
Chappers. Dono and Chappers.
2 people have done
Is that
it.
they have one of those joint emails? Dono and
love
Chappers
that.
at Gmail.
But and of course, mentioning our sponsors, Gage Road Brewery, Soda Stream, Tent World, Potato Head Club in Bali.
Just to be clear, none of those are actual sponsors.
No, and most of them we're banned from.
All right, this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show. We'll see you again probably tomorrow for the mailbag.
We are doing a
First
mailbag.
mailbag of the year. See you then.